Say hello. And I hope everyone is doing fine. I hope you're having a great day so far. Actually, this is an awesome day. So, um, give me 1 second here. I'm trying to turn my phones off. So, if you are on, say hello to me. Don't be shy. There you go. Let's see. All right. All right, everybody. We are giving you a few moments. And so I wanted to just take those few moments to say hello. Hey, my brother Barnes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you for the support. Thank you for sharing. And thank you for all you do, man. Sincerely. 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 All right, everybody. This is entitled. This is the moment of inspiration, and this is entitled "How to Build Endurance." And when you hear the word endurance, you think about bearing something, or lasting, or duration, or your ability to continue. Words like fortitude, or courage, or grit. And so when we think about endurance, we have to understand that there are some complexities that comes along with endurance. There's some adversity that comes along with endurance that makes you stronger in the thing that you are trying to accomplish. All right. And so when you think about endurance, think of it because we know that life is a race, and we are up against time. We are up against time. So when it comes to endurance, we have to use our time wisely. Did you hear what I said? We have to use our time wisely. And so when it comes, or when we think about endurance, think about time, but enduring the situation that we are up against time with. Okay, we gotta think about the situation that we are up against time with. And so how do you build endurance? And remember, I said this is just a few moments of inspiration. This is just a few moments of inspiration. And so how do you build endurance? That's a great question, because I know some of us are in some situations, some difficult situations, or some challenging situations that we are trying to endure. And once again, when you think about endurance, you're thinking about stamina. You're thinking about stamina. How could I outlive this storm that I'm in? How could I outlast the thing that I'm in? And what is it going to teach me? Is it going to teach me that I can beat everything that I come up against? So that's some of the things and some of the thoughts that we have to think about as we are going through our situations and trying to endure whatever it is that we are facing. And so, how do you build endurance? Number one, this is number one. You have to be determined to endure. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy. In order for us to build endurance, and I only have a few minutes, so I need y'all to share and tag somebody. In order for us to build endurance, we have to be determined to endure. We have to be determined to endure. And you got to remember that endurance, when it comes to it, it is your stamina. It is your ability to continue. There's a saying that says, when you're in the race, if you're in the race, you have to outlast the race. You have to be in the race. You have to outlive the race. You got to survive the race. And so if we're all in a race, and I want you to catch this, we have to be determined to endure. All right. We have to be determined to endure. And that's what's important, because here it is. We have to have a game plan. We have to have a game plan. We have to have a mission. We have to have a purpose. We have to have our goals. And whatever that goal is and whatever that plan is, to endure, especially when we are in these situations, we have to stick to it. We have to stick to it. It's sad when we get in the race, but as soon as we get in the race, we get out of the race because of what we face, the hardships or the trials or the circumstances that we are in. So we have to be determined. That's number one. We have to be determined to endure, which means that there's going to be some unexpected things. There's going to be some unexpected things that come up in the race. There's going to be some unexpected things that come up in your situation, but you have to endure. You have to endure. You have to be determined that you are going to endure. I hope you got that first point. You have to be determined. You have to be determined. I need everybody to write down determined. Come on, let's write that down. Determined. You have to be determined to endure. Here it is. In your determination, you cannot lose faith, or you cannot lose sight of the finish line. Did you get that? You cannot lose sight of your finish. Let me say it one more time. You cannot lose sight of your finish. I need everybody to write down, don't lose sight. Come on, this is going to be good. Don't lose sight. Because here it is. You're going to have some things. You're going to have some things that are going to come against you. They're going to come against you. But you can't lose sight. You have to stay focused on your goal. You have to stay focused. You have to concentrate on your target, which is the finish. You get that? Which is the finish. And so therefore we have to endure. We have to be determined to endure until we finish. And even when we finish that situation, or overcome that situation, or get the victory over that circumstance, we still have to endure. You get that? We still have to endure. I'll bring it on together in a second. That's point number one. You have to be determined. You have to be determined to endure. Point number two, pace yourself. Did you get that? I need everybody to write down, pace yourself. Come on, I need you to write that down. Pace yourself. It's important that you pace yourself. It's important because here it is. Running is simple. Running is a simple part, but patience and steady is often complicated. Did you get that? Patience and being steady is often complicated. It's complicated because we want to run through our situations to get to the finish line, but we must be steady. We must be steady. We must endure. All right. We must be steady. Sometimes we have to have that patience. Sometimes we have to wait on certain things, but you have to pace yourself, because if you don't pace yourself, you'll run out of energy. Did you get that? If you do not pace yourself, you'll run out of stamina. That's why in boxing or in anything, any sport that you are involved in, they always teach you to pace yourself. All right, they always teach you to pace yourself. Even in running, when you're running track, pace yourself. You don't use all your energy in the beginning. You have to pace yourself so that way when you come near the finish line, you can expend everything that you have left inside of you to finish the race. I hope you're getting that. I hope you're getting that. So you have to pace yourself. If you do not pace yourself, you're going to run out of energy quickly. So how do you build endurance? You have to pace yourself. The third point is you have to build your inner strength. Did you get that? You have to build your inner strength. I want you to remember, point number one is be determined to endure. Point number two is pace yourself. So if you missed that, I want you to write that down. Pace yourself, because we already talked about being determined. So now we have to pace ourselves. I want you to catch that. You have to pace yourself. Write that down. Pace yourself. Number three, you have to build inner strength. Sometimes we build everything else except the core. Did you get that? We build everything else except the core. Now, when you are in a race, you're going to have adversity. You're going to have curveballs. You're going to have some setbacks, especially when you're fatigued, especially when you're beginning to be debilitated. It's sapping all of your energy out of you. You are going to get to the point You're going to get to the point where you need to push yourself, and build, here it is, your inner strength. It's going to go against everything that you feel, all of your emotions. You are going to feel like you are stretching at this point, like something is tearing your insides apart. But here it is, it's building you. Did you get that? It's building you. And I want you to catch that. I need everybody to write down, it's building me. The reason why I know it's building me is because now I can run a little faster. Now I can endure. Now I'm getting my wind, especially when things are happening. You see, the things that used to bother you in the beginning really doesn't bother you no more. You have a little bit more energy to outlast the thing that you are in. And so therefore you're building, here it is, not just the outward appearance, or you're not building just what it looks like, but you're actually building your inner man. Did you get that? You're building your inner strength. I hope you catch that. You're building your inner strength, and that's important. That's important. You're not just looking like you're strong. You actually are strong because you're building the inner man. You're building your inner strength up. And here's the thing about it, is that when you build your inner strength, you are working, here it is, once again, I need everybody to write this down. You're working on your core. Everybody write that down. I'm working on my core. Come on, let's write that down. I'm working on my core. It's important. It's important that you continue to work not just on your look, but you work on your core. That's important in building endurance. Here's what it says, and I want to use this scripture because I think it's important. I think it's important in building your inner strength. Before we glory in tribulations, for tribulations worketh patience. Remember, tribulation is thalipsis, which means, in the Greek, thalipsis, which means pressure. We glory in pressure, we glory in tribulations, for tribulations worketh patience, and patience experience, and experience hope. So your inner strength, when you're building your inner strength to endure something, what you're actually is saying is that I'm becoming stronger, and I'm giving myself hope that I can win next time. I can beat this thing this time, and I can win next time. So therefore, I'm building on a foundation that is going to be strong. So when I'm actually tested, I already know that I can win, I can overcome, I can be victorious, and I have hope that the next storm or the next circumstance or the next situation that I'm in, I can win. I'm almost done, y'all. I'm rushing to get through this. Now, there's a saying when building your inner strength, that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Did y'all catch that? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So, don't sit there and suffer, because, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about voluntary suffering. All right. I'm talking about voluntary suffering. Pain, when you are enduring or building your inner strength, you are going to experience pain. That's inevitable. You can't prevent that. When you are building muscle, and I want you to catch this, when you are building muscle, you are also tearing muscle. Did you catch that? When you are building muscle, you are also tearing muscle. So therefore, that comes with the territory. So you're going to have that adversity. You're going to have that conflict. You're going to have that tearing. But that's inevitable. But to sit there and put yourself through suffering, that can be prevented. That is optional. That is voluntary. All right. So therefore, and what am I talking about? Mental suffering. Because what you're doing is talking yourself out of building your inner man. Did you catch that? I hope you catch that. I hope you caught that. You're talking yourself out. When I talk about suffering is inevitable, suffering is optional, you have the choice, because here it is. You are building yourself and you are becoming not just strong physically to endure the test or the circumstance. You are building your mind. You are strengthening your mind as well. Don't talk yourself. Here it is. Don't talk yourself out of something that you can beat. Don't talk yourself out of something that you can endure. Did you catch that? Do not talk yourself out of something that you can endure. Do not allow negativity to come inside of you and make you go opposite of what you know that you can beat, that you can surmount, that you can conquer, that you can win. Did you catch that? That's why I said pain is inevitable, because we're going to go through that pain. We're going to go through that tearing. We can't prevent that. That's important and critical for our building of strength, building of character, building. All right. We're building the inner strength. But here it is. And I want you to catch this. You talking yourself out of what you know, out of where you know you can be, out of what you know you can conquer. You talking yourself or allowing somebody to talk you out of what you know you can be victorious in is optional. I hope you caught that. Now, here's I got 2 more points and then we're done. Hold yourself accountable. That's the 4th point. You got to hold yourself accountable. If you do not hold yourself accountable, then what you're going to do is you're going to be laissez-faire. You're just going to allow anything to happen. You're going to give up when you want to give up. And that's not something that we can afford to do when we are building endurance. All right. When we are building endurance, we want to make sure that we stay focused on our goals. Okay. We want to make sure that we stay focused on our goals and we handle our responsibility. If we decide that we're going to short ourselves in this race, if we decide that we're going to short ourselves in this race, we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to say, okay, you know what? We cannot do this any longer. We cannot allow this to happen. Let's get back on target. Let's get back in the race. Let's do what we're supposed to do. We hold ourselves accountable. Now, I want to say this because I think this is somewhat and partly true. You are the results or the fruit or the outcome of your decisions. All right. You are the fruit or the manifestation of your decisions, not your condition or your situation. All right. You are the fruit of your decisions, not your condition. Your condition, I want you to know, will change, but you will get the results of your decisions. Okay. You will get the results of your decision. Whatever you decide to do, that's what you're going to get the manifestation of. Did you get that? Whatever you decide to do, that's what you're going to get the manifestation of. Now, one more time, whatever you choose to do when you are building endurance, that's what you're going to get the manifestation of. So you got to realize that you are the result of your decision. You are. So you can't blame this on anybody else. If you decide to give up, you cannot blame that on anybody else. I've been there. I know it. I know it to be true. But if you decide to blame that on somebody else, then what you are saying, you are using them as a scapegoat, and that is not the case. You have to remember you are the result of your decision, not your condition. Okay? It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter your environment. All right? I can live in an environment, but it's the decision that makes me. Did you get that? I can live in somewhere where I know there's poverty, but I do not have to become or have the mindset of poverty. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Because once you decide that you are going to take on the role of being someone who has the mindset of I can't do, or I won't do, or it won't work for me, then you decided that that's the life that you are going to live. And you decided, you made that choice that you are going to walk in that path. Don't let that decision become your reality. Did y'all get that? Don't let that decision become your reality. It does not have to be. You do not have to become the decision that you make if that is a negative decision that will take you away or subtract from what you know that you can be victorious over. Did you get that? So you are, here it is, you are the result of your decision. You are the results of your decision. Last one, and then I'm gonna get off because I overdid it. But the last one is, I was trying to do it in 7 minutes, but I could not do it. But the last one is that make endurance your lifestyle. Did you get that? Make endurance your lifestyle. I want you to catch that. Make endurance a lifestyle. It must be a habit. It must be a practice. It must be a custom. It's a gradual thing that we all are learning to endure, but we have to have commitment. We have to have commitment to endure the journey. We have to have commitment to endure the journey. So I've given you some tips on how to build your endurance, especially in whatever situation that you are faced with or you may have encountered. I want you to make sure that you know that you are going to build your endurance and you can outlast the storm. You can outlast anything that you are in. I hope you were encouraged. I hope you were encouraged. Before we get off of here, everybody write down success is on me. Come on, let's write that down. Success is on me. I love you so much. Make sure that you turn your notifications on. Make sure that you are following us. Make sure that you connect with us. Go to the links on the screen. Go to the links on the screen and just connect with me. I want to hear from you if you love these moments of inspiration. I want to make sure that you are connecting with me, and I want your feedback. I know these are moments of inspiration, and I'm trying to come on and do this as often as I can.